Hi everyone. Um, if you want to book with me, all you got to book on my Calendly. I am offering free readings or free questions if you want to answer. Want me to answer a question for you? All you gotta do is put like your name, your date of birth, and the question you have for me. Hi everyone. Hi. Let's see. Hi Sunflower. I'm good. How are you? Let's see. If you want to book with me, all you need to do is book on my Calendly. If you want a free question, you can book the free question, or you can do a paid reading. Okay, book with me. Check out my Calendly and purchase or get a free reading. Hi everyone. Oh yeah, that's true. Angels, answers, guides, and my beautiful dragon. Can you please help protect me, keep me safe, and watch over me? Help cleanse and clear the space and energy around me. Help release all us spirits, send them to light, or back to where they belong. Help protect the space and help me expand. I caught in the air for expansion and flow. I caught in the fire for passion, compassion, and transformation. I call in the water for the connectivity and full penetration of the light of source. I call upon the energy of the east for new beginnings, understandings. I call in the south for rapid growth. I call in the west, reaping the rewards of our efforts. And I call in the north for the energy of contemplation and rejuvenation. I ask that I may be fully plugged into the grid and the matrix for the work that we are about to do here. All beings of 100% light, please assist. And I also ask that my higher self help me maintain my 5D awareness at all times. I ask my guides to help watch over, protect me, keep me safe, and help make sure that I receive clearly all the messages I need to receive this day. I call on the energy of Sirius B, the sun behind the sun, and I call up the energy from the earth. And when the sky energy and earth energy meet, they form this beautiful signature in each and every one of my chakras, activating and grounding me all at the same time. I ask that these energies run automatically for the rest of my day. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Nice to hear from you, Sunflower. By the way, hi everyone. If you want to book with me, you can book a free reading on my Calendly or a paid reading. I look forward to hearing from you. I started doing readings for someone earlier, and I forgot how much I miss it. So I'm actually very grateful to be doing readings. So let me know by booking with me. Let's see, angels and guys, preparations for the readings, preparations for the readings, preparations for the readings. Sorry, just that's a life. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look. Hi everyone. Let's see, any messages that want to come through. Ooh. Swords, interesting. King of Swords. Okay. Let's see here. Hi. Whew. Okay. Hi, Shanice. Okay, let's take a look here. So you have what are Kai's feelings and emotions towards me? This is the same person you asked about last time. What's Kai's favorite thing about the connection? Okay, let's take a look. I feel like you have a very strong, I don't want to say like it's energetic or telepathic connection. Sometimes those can feel very gratifying. Um, but they're often not as much as we think they are, right? Do you notice the odd thing is coming through from the guides? I feel sometimes we can have a mental connection with someone, but where does that leave your body, right? Are you getting emotional or physical intimacy, right? Where does it leave your emotions, right? Your heart. You're not, you know what I mean? Like when you have a mental connection and our mind is head over body, right? Mind over, I want to say mind over, say mind over soul, right? We often don't look at the other parts of ourselves, right? So I feel like you have a very strong mental connection, right? But this leaves the rest of your body, right? The rest of you without, right? So you don't have, maybe it's not as physical as you need it to be. And maybe if it is physical, it's not intimate, right? I feel like there is a message here about making sure that you don't fall into that like headspace where you think mind is all you got, right? Your mind, your heart, your soul, your body, right? Um, I want to say your inner child as well, right? You're even your ego, right? And they say your silhouette, right? So be careful with believing or falling into the trap that you just need a mental connection with someone. You need everything, right? So my message to you for like, I know it's just a random message, but not don't fall into that trap where um like mental connection is all you have with someone, right? Search for more or look for someone that can give you more. Okay, anyway, so let's take a look at here for Kai's feelings with the Ten of Swords. Interesting, with the Page of Cups. I feel like there is an ending that he's still healing from. He's still working through, right? It's just an odd thing. I have to give it because it's coming through from the guides. Sometimes we um don't want to know all there is to know about someone because it reminds us about like maybe some of the pain that they've gone through, or it reminds us maybe that they're human too, right? um I feel like he's still healing from something from his past that didn't work out for him, that is still hurting him, right? And without him fully healing from that, I feel like he's not gonna be as open with you, right? We have the King of Cups here. He does have a lot of love for you, but he has no way to like share it. Let's see, sorry. Let's see. What are Kai's feelings and emotions? You have strength here as well with the lovers. Hmm. He does look at like love and connections as a great source of strength, right? Some people define their life as like their job or their family. I feel like he defines his life as his connections, or maybe even what he's done to believe in love. Do you know sometimes people do those really big gestures to prove that, not prove anything, but like to show that they really love someone? I feel like he has some of that in him, right? He does have feelings for you. I feel like his feelings for you go like pretty big, right? But he's still healing from something, or he still hasn't moved on from something that hurt him in his past. It's something that I feel even hurts his inner child still. Okay, it may have happened in childhood. I'm not getting that though, but with the lovers here and the Three of Cups. Okay. I feel like he may find your connection nice, right? But he may not feel like he's ready for love altogether. Okay. Oh, sorry. I have like the door open. Anything else about how he feels towards we have the Six of Cups with the 10. And then the Empress reversed. Interesting. Um, he's sad that things didn't work out the way he hoped it would when he met you. I feel like when he met you, he had a lot of hopes, a lot of dreams, a lot of aspirations, and you want to say ambitions, right? With that strength here. And he's not happy that it didn't pan out that way. Sorry, he's not happy because it didn't pan out that way. And he kind of wishes things moved in a different direction. Maybe he wished things took off more like lively, right? Maybe he wishes that there were no hiccups at the beginning, right? But he kind of feels like your connection hasn't hit its full potential, and he kind of wishes it had. Um, Sometimes in life we don't want to rock the boat, or we don't want to like shake up things, right? Because we the connection is very important, but sometimes that leaves like growth that should have happened not happening. I hope that makes sense. With the tower reversed, I feel like some things that you kind of want to avoid, like you don't want to fight with first meet them. You don't want to like bring up bad stuff when you first meet someone that you really want to impress, right? And sometimes when we don't do those things, it doesn't allow certain growth that we needed. I feel like this is a message just in case for your future, right? But how he feels is things are not as expansive as they could have been yet. And he wishes that it was okay. Let's see. I'm sorry I couldn't pay for a reading today. Oh, by the way, it's totally. I want you to know that I'm totally broke too. It's no big deal, but I've gotten free services and I needed it. So I hope you know that like there's like no shame here. But let's take a look. Is there anything else about what is his favorite thing about the connection? About his connection with you? What are Kai's favorite thing about the connection with Lovette? We have the Three of Wands. Interesting. It gives us something to look forward to. I feel like he doesn't really talk about it. He doesn't really talk about his connection. Or sorry, he doesn't really talk about like I don't know how to phrase this to you. I feel like he it gives him something to move forward to. Do you know when you have nothing, you don't have much to live for, right? Or you don't have much going for you. This is something that he feels he has going for him, and it's a really good place to be, right? Because he looks towards you, towards like his future fulfillment. But this also kind of puts things a little bit of a pause. Not it's like it's bad, right? But there's a message here about making sure that you don't keep your connection too telepathic, right? Where is your mouth in this, right? Or are you seeing him all the time, right? How does your heart feel? You know what I mean? Like don't leave your other body parts out of your connection with him, okay? But what his favorite thing about this is it gives him something to look forward to, and this is something that he does cherish, okay? Ten of Pentacles reversed, okay. Anyway, so what else is his favorite thing? We had the Hierophant reverse, interesting. The Five of Pentacles. He kind of likes this. I don't feel like you let social like norms or like standards hold you back, which is a good thing. I know sometimes we like to cringe at those things, but if you look back at like the past or like how like humanity has like broke free out of like their own, I don't know, things that they saw as taboo, right? I want to say like when you sorry, they gave two examples. One is like in the past you wouldn't like sleep with, you wouldn't expect to sleep with someone until you married them, right? And we kind of broke out of that, right? He likes that your connection doesn't follow what society says you should do. I feel like you kind of do it your own way, right? It also kind of leaves him not really knowing when things are going to pan out a little bit, but he does like the fact that it's unconventional, okay? It's probably because it's telepathic, but we also have the Eight of Pentacles. And then we have the King of Pentacles reverse. One other thing that he kind of likes is he doesn't have to give too much to it for it to keep going, for him to know that you still have feelings for him, and for him to know that you still choose him, right? So I feel like this is the connection that there's unconditional love, which is nice, right? One that he doesn't have to put too much work in to sustain, which is also good. So his favorite thing is that this connection is easier than others, and he does want, I want to say, a future with you, or he does see a future with you. Anyway, is there any last thing for Sunflower? We are setting boundaries. I feel like this is for that first message. I know that you have a strong mental connection with them, right? But we're not just our mind. We're so much more than that. And you have to pull yourself away from that. Are you satisfying your heart right now? Are you even satisfying your physical needs, right? Are you satisfying your emotional needs? Are you satisfying that need to sit on a couch with someone and watch a show with them, right? Are you satisfying those needs, right? There's a message here about like there's like I feel like a strong mental connection or a telepathic connection, but there isn't much else. And you have to remind yourself that you're your whole being, right? You're your whole body. You're not just your mind, right? You're not just your eyes. You're not just your will, right? And there's a message here about allowing more flow in your connection. Okay. I'm sorry, it's actually a really beautiful thing. Like this message is crazy, but it's like a lot of people need it. But any last thing, please? And we have miracles, ancient wisdom here as well. This is a message I got earlier, but I didn't say it. You know that this person loves you unconditionally, right? But are you willing to stand in front of him and tell him you love him unconditionally and to give that love unconditionally and to be there for him unconditionally? Are you ready to like stand in your truth? Is kind of the message, right? There's a message here about this needs to happen or needed to happen in order for things to progress in your connection. Are you willing to do that? And this is not about like you believing you have love for him, but you believing that there truly is a connection. You know, making that leap is profound, right? That leap to like, I truly believe I have feelings for him. I truly believe that he has feelings for me, and I'm willing to like confess those feelings and like step out into the light and like saying that like tell the world, right? Are you sorry are you brave enough to do that? um are you brave enough to like to like and again, it's like, are you brave enough to tell him that you love him without him ever telling you it back, right? Or without any proof in the physical that he sees the same things you do, right? Are you willing to do that? This is kind of where you stand right now, right? And it's a message that a lot of us get eventually from our guides, right? And it's one that you're gonna have to overcome and do, right, in order for you to have progress in the connection. And I'm not saying that they won't do it; they might, right? But you have I don't know, not a conundrum, but you have a challenge here, right? Are you willing to like tell this person literally, physically, right, standing right in front of him, that you love him unconditionally and that you know that there's a connection here, and you know that this is real, right? You're willing to do that, right? It's kind of where you are, right? It's don't do it until you're ready, I guess, but it's required, I guess. All right. We have sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation, and prayer. I feel like it's to tell him that you appreciate him too, right? I feel like he's a little bit in the dumps, a little bit, right? And he needs a little help, right? So I message to you with that sacred gratitude. Is, are you willing to stand in that truth? Are you willing to take that risk? It's kind of where you are. It's kind of your guidance as well. Is there any last guidance, please, for Sunflower? This sensuality, feminine wisdom, and passion. There are parts of you that I feel are unsatisfied with your connection with him, and they want more. So either you need to make a move towards this Kai guy, right? Or you need to let him go and move towards someone else that can satisfy all of your needs, not just a mental connection. Mental connection is just mental, right? You want more than just that. And you may have disconnected yourself from parts of yourself that to like really, I guess, dive into the connection part, right? um Number 16 is a tower card, by the way. Some kind of connection is always in there, but my message to you is like there's parts of you that are screaming for more, and they're gonna get it, right? So my message to you is it's kind of like either go get more with this Kai person, or you have to let him go and choose something else. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, it's from that guard. By the way, thank you, Sunflower. I want to thank you for booking with me. All right, Shanice. But that's all I got for you. Ooh. By the way, hi Vicky, how are you doing? Any questions on that, Shanice, on what you received? That's okay. You're being asked to step into that role if you really believe like he's your twin flame, or you really believe there's a connection here, or you really believe that you've been talking to him telepathically. It should be no brainer, right, to go up to him and tell him in person, right? This is kind of where you're at, kind of where a lot of people are at. Not to say they get left here, I don't know about that, but I do know that you're being asked to take it even a step further and to do more, right? Give him a call, right? Set up a date, right? Really um huh, really like create something, right, rather than letting it sit and wallow. All right. Oh yeah, yeah, that's really good. Vicky, if you want, you can write it in the chat box as I know you, or you can book a free question. um uh And yes, I'm offering free readings, by the way. So hi everyone. You can book on my Calendly. You can book a free question or book a live reading. Either one's fine. I want you to know that I'm here for you, and the messages that I'm receiving are going. A lot of people get help from them, even if they're not like watching through YouTube, right? I want you to know that like these messages are very important. Anyway. Shanice, like, make sure your love is unconditional, I want to say, but it's not so much about getting him, right? It's about you truly believing that you've been talking to him telepathically and willing to like take it into the physical. That's the point, right? Like where you go from there, I don't know, right? But it's not like, oh, I'm gonna get him or we're gonna get married soon, or we're gonna be together, although we probably will, right? But it's more like this is happening, this is real, and let me take that leap, right? um it's kind of where um it's kind of where you are right now, and when you take those leaps and when you take initiative like that, it's going to move things. And I also want to remind you that you're not just your mind, you're not just your connection cannot be just telepathic, right? It's just like you can have a telepathic connection with anyone, right, per se, right? You need your body needs more, you need more, right? um so go out and get it. All right. By the way, hi everyone. I love you all. Wow. No problem. Shanice, thank you for booking with me. Call my angels, ancestors, guides in to help watch over, protect, and keep you safe. Help cleanse and clear the energy of the space and the surroundings. Help release all the energy that is does not serve me. Yeah, a big bold gesture. I'm not saying it's like what's recommended or what will work, but um, it's like anchoring that belief, right? And I know that sometimes we face adversity or we face people saying no, right? Or they don't feel it. That's part of the challenge, I guess, right? It's not so much like they believe it or they acknowledge it too. So we have to, or that, that gives you proof, right? Um, like knowing, that I have psychic gifts or knowing that I'm gifted, right? All these things about myself, right? It's not it can help when other people believe it or can help when other people confirm it, right? But we often have to stand in that truth alone without any proof, without anyone acknowledging it. And that's kind of our journey, right? So it's kind of what I was saying. Anyway, okay, let's take a look here. Okay, I got your question. You have me and Chris are still talking, but he is in and then fades. Interesting. But I know it's slow process. I've been healing a lots of wounds as I feel it's a year. Um, as I feel it's a year before we get there. Is there someone else? Let's take a look here. Is there anyone else? We have the Knight of Cups reversed for Vicky. We have the Fool. Okay. This message is about like not wanting to take a leap again, because you've leaped before in the past and it didn't work out. There's messages about a lot of like hesitation towards that, right? I have to say it because you're sovereign. Um, Sometimes we have limitations towards like love connections, and sometimes we think these things are gonna help us find love easier, right? One is like maybe I don't want to date a cheater, or maybe I don't want to date anyone that's cheated on anyone, or maybe I don't want to date anyone that's been married in the past, or maybe I don't want to date anyone who has children, right? Those standards that we sometimes put up for ourselves and that we think protect us. You have some of these that are keeping you from finding love and keeping you from finding new love. I actually feel, and this is just, I know it sounds crazy, they can apply to people we've already met, right? And it's why things don't work out. Since you're sovereign, and that's actually the message they want me to give you, you have these standards up and they don't allow you to fully meet and engage with people. They ask you to let your guard down. They ask you to let people in and they ask you to like let people hurt you. And I'm not saying in like a literal sense, Vicky. I'm saying in like I'm brave enough, right, to let someone hurt me in the end, or I'm brave enough to like let someone in. And I want you to make that clear. Like love always, I don't want to say love always hurts, but you know what I mean. When you let someone in, when you're vulnerable, it's gonna hurt, right? Or it probably, you know what I mean. And there's just these like standards that you have, because you're sovereign that you've put up that are keeping even the ones you've already met from loving you properly. They say that this also keeps like your mother from loving you, right? Or sorry, not in like a literal sense, right? It keeps her from like showing her love, right? Or it keeps her from being there in a loving way, right? So you want to look at what you've done to yourself, what standards you put up for yourself that you thought would protect you or thought would streamline you to finding love, and kind of unmake those, or they say undo them. Okay, there's a recommendation for you to get in a like I don't want to say an akasha reading, but for you to do it with someone else. There are people out there that know this better than I do, that can help you navigate these things. Like those, and I know that you are. I don't want to say in it, but actually feels like you are. But you kind of know what I'm talking about when I say like those standards. You need someone to tell you like this is what you asked for, and this is what it means or something like that, so that you can readdress them. I feel like these are things that we often do and we think they're going to help us find love, right? But they often keep love from coming in. Love hurts. I want you to know that, right? Love is a mission. That's what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like it's like love is more than we think it is, and it matters more than I want to say than we are, right? So you have stuff like this that are keeping even Chris and new people from coming in and offering you the love that you seek. I feel the one that they keep bringing up is that love. You don't want anyone that comes in to hurt you, or you don't want love to hurt, and that's perfectly okay, right? Um, but it's keeping you from finding love because love hurts, right? You don't want anyone to that loves you to hurt you, or you don't want anyone that comes in that you let in, right, to hurt you. But love hurts, right? So what are we gonna do about that, right? So you kind of can't find love right now, right? So you kind of have to let those standards go. They say redo them, or I want to say undo. That's my message to you. But I know that when we first put these up, we think they're gonna safeguard us, right? Think they're gonna protect us, right? And they do. They protect us so much they keep everyone out, right? And that's actually a beautiful thing, right? But at the same time, it kind of leaves us very lonely. So I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You do have to go and I feel like working with someone to do them. They say like a day process. I have to give it because I'm working with someone right now. I'm working with uh, Tina Fortuna, right? And we're doing like a clearing on her, right? All this stuff, right? I'm sending her like repeated audio files of like recordings I do when I channel them, right? So it's gonna be an all day process. It's actually what I'm doing today, right? Um, you have to work with someone I feel like throughout the day, like for a day, and work through each and every single one of these. He says that you will feel it when it's done, when you've got all of them, like it's done, right? Um, because it's coming to you from yourself. Yourself or she is saying that it's going to take time for you to enter your heart space because you're a little scared, a little wary. Sometimes we don't want to be wrong too, right? So we don't want to admit that those things that we put up to protect us are keeping love away. You're gonna have to do that one too, right? Or that's required. But my message to you is to acknowledge that, like, let's say you don't want a cheater or someone that can cheat on you or someone that maybe sees other people as attractive or something like that, right? There's just stuff like that that you want to like, like, oh, maybe that was too much to ask for. Maybe that's not what I mean, right? So that you can actually readdress these things. These are keeping people out, and when you keep people out, you don't let love in. Okay, they're sabotaging you. These are things that are sabotaging you, right? And we have three of wands. At first, it's coming through from the guides. I want to be coming through from myself as well. We let these things play out, right, in our life, so that we can then recognize they're not helpful, right? I think you're at the point now with Chris and this question about anyone new coming in, where you can realize that those standards or those things that you have uh, um have like things that you have told yourself to protect yourself are keeping people from coming in. I will say this because it's part of my own domain, but my own inner knowing. We often need those hurtful lessons to help us grow, right? It's part of life, right? We can't avoid those things. So you're kind of gonna move through things in that way too. So know that when you like, you have lessons I feel that are coming, but some of these lessons are painful, right? And it's a good thing. Okay. Sorry, I want to make sure. I want to make sure you know. Okay, okay. So let's take a look here. Is there anything else, please, for Vicky? We have the Two of Wands here. We have the Three of Cups. Interesting. I want to say it because I feel it. It's like and there's like a collective shift happening where we kind of have our eye on many people, right? I want you to look at like, who am I in this life, right? I think it's a good way to put it. Sorry, I'm gonna leave like this. Who am I in this life? So you can really pick who is best for you in this lifetime, right? It's just a message here about having your eye on many people or being open to many connections, right? And that's nothing wrong with that, right? We are multidimensional. We live many lives. It's not a big deal, right? But you want to ask yourself, who am I in this life? What do I want in this life, right? What am I capable of or ready for, right? And that's going to help you narrow down the search. So it feels like you're, by the way, hi, Amarjana. You're open, not to say open to too many things. You're kind of too scattered here, right? So when you start to like ask yourself, like, maybe this year I'm ready for this connection, or I'm ready for that, and I know that sometimes we think about like looking at what we're ready for in a year as such. It's not, right? You'll know, right? But there's a message here about like asking yourself, who am I? What am I on this year? What am I ready for? What do I have time for? And when you do that, you're gonna narrow down the search when it comes to your love life, and it's a good thing, right? You may not be with them forever, right? But you'll be with them. You will open yourself up to them. I want you to know, because you're sovereign. When you open up to love, or when you open yourself up to different connections, they will show up in your life. That's the point. Like, they will be there. You know what I mean? So know that, like, when I'm telling you, you're gonna see success, right? But you do have to, like, sit and do the work a little bit. He recommends that you write down what you want and be very organized about it as well. So I have like a journal. I don't know if it's here. Like a notebook where I did a bunch of my writing. That writing has all my, like, some of my standards in it, or it has some of the things I want in it, and some of the things that may not be that helpful, right? Um, but I wrote it down. Be very organized about it, and you're gonna see results. Like, as someone, again, as someone who's sovereign, I can tell you that you're gonna see the results, right? But it kind of requires opening yourself up a little bit to some of the negative stuff that you may be trying to avoid. Okay, let's take a look here. Anything else, please? The Seven of Pentacles here with the Page of Pentacles. When you finally pick what you want, be very focused on it. They say for you to put, and this came through from you, to put what you want in a crystal and keep it there. I don't want to say like a remembrance, but like when you like put, like he says, sorry, he says, you, like when you put a wish in a crystal, or when you put something you want in a crystal, or when you put the person you want, so you can who it is and what it is that you want, and where it's going. They say that's important. Be very focused on it so it can manifest faster. Sorry, it's a good one. Sorry. And then we have Temperance reversed here as well. Um, I'm gonna leave it like this. The message I get, because I'm intuitive, with the Temperance reverse, is you kind of want to focus on connections that might bring imbalance in your life. Like, you've been set up in this, like, I don't know, castle right in the sky for a while. You kind of want a connection that rocks your boat a little bit, right? Maybe someone that, I don't know, I don't want to say drama, but maybe someone that, like, rocks things a little bit, right? So don't focus on, like, let's say, like, when you pick intuitively, or with your own inner knowing, they say, oh, this connection, like, well, why would they pick that? Like, kind of trust it, I guess. But that's kind of all I got for you. Let's see if there's any guidance, please, for Vicky. Okay, we have our first one. Summoning power, instinct, intellect, and control. When you finally start to let things flow, you're going to be able to summon people like that and have them in your life, which is really cool, right? I want you to know that, I guess I want you to know that's real, but I want you to know that, like, you're gonna experience flow, I guess. Anyway, let's see. Is there any last guidance? Sorry. We have Radiance, Phoenix Rising. Not to look at what you've gone through, or the it's taking you to learn this very important lesson as a waste of time. It's not, right? You've not wasted your time. You've learned a very important lesson that takes eons for most people to learn, right? Be okay with getting hurt. That's actually the message, right? Be okay with it. And slowly but surely, you're going to open yourself up to many connections in your life that are going to help you expand and glow and rise like a phoenix, okay? You're going to be very grateful for those lessons too, okay? We have reverent appreciation and prayer. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, and last card, please, for Vicky. We also have innovation, new creations. You're going to have new connections, by the way. These new connections are going to offer you new insights, new abilities, new powers, new paths, new stuff, right? And setting boundaries, threshold, protection, and honor. There's a message that comes through. I want to say it says from Mother, from Mother Gaia. You protect yourself, right? The person you're with, okay? You like that? It's a good one. All right, and then we have miracles, ancient wisdom. It's a miracle to learn this lesson that you've learned. I want you to know that. Sorry, unity consciousness, or I want to say maybe all consciousness. They say all beings have learned this one, which is a very important one at the same time, I guess. Anyway, thank you, Vicky. I want to thank you for booking with me. It's a very important message. A lot of people needed it. Anyway. Let's see. Right? I need it too. So it's an important thing. I want you to know, like, I'm mind blown. Okay. Whew. By the way, hi, Marjan. If you want to book me, you can book on my Calendly, a free reading or a free question or a paid one if you want. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry. I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Oh, no problem. No problem, Vicky. Any other questions you have or anything else you want answered? I could just book on my Calendly. Let's see if anyone booked. Okay. Hi, kitty. Why are you up, you little handsome baby boy? cleanse and clear this.